Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the place where we learn English in a new, exciting way. Today, I am so excited to talk about something that I really believe can completely change the way you speak English. So, what is shadowing and why does it work? So, what exactly is this amazing technique? To put it simply, shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say almost at the exact same time. Think of yourself as their shadow or their echo. You're not just copying the words, you're mimicking their rhythm, their tone of voice, and the way they say things. It's an active, fun process where you're trying to match the sounds you hear as closely as you can. Now, you might be thinking, isn't that just repeating things like a parrot? And that's a great question. But the real magic of shadowing isn't just in the words, it's in copying the language. It helps you get used to the natural patterns of English. So you're not just learning single words, but how they all dance together in a real conversation. The goal is to move away from that slow, awkward translation in your head and toward a smooth, automatic flow when you speak. So, why is this so effective? Well, I found it so interesting that several studies have actually shown how powerful it is. For example, a big study at the National Taiwan University found that students who practiced shadowing got so much better at their pronunciation, flow, and just their overall speaking. It works so well because it trains the physical parts of speaking, the things a textbook can't really teach you. It helps you develop the pronunciation, the rhythm, and the beautiful melody of English. I also read about a famous language learner named Alexander Arguelles, who helped make this technique popular. He believed it was a way to force your brain to focus purely on the sounds of a language, kind of bypassing that slow, analytical part of your brain. It helps you tap into a more natural, intuitive way of learning. He loved it so much that he used it to help him learn over 50 different languages. Basically, shadowing closes the gap between the English you know in your head and the English you can actually speak. It turns learning from just an idea into a physical skill, training your mouth and your mind to work together perfectly. It helps you feel the language in your body, not just think it in your head. Section 2. The secret. How it works in your brain. This is one of the best parts. This is where we uncover the secrets. Most people will tell you to shadow, but they don't explain why it works on such a deep level. I really believe that when you understand the science, it not only motivates you, but it helps you practice in a better, smarter way. The big secret is this: shadowing helps your brain change and build new connections. There's a wonderful word for this: neuroplasticity. It's the brain's amazing ability to reorganize itself. Anytime you learn a new skill, like playing an instrument or learning a language, your brain is physically changing. It's creating and strengthening pathways. Imagine you're creating a path in a forest. The first time you walk it, it's hard work. But the more you walk that same path, the clearer it gets. Soon, it's a well-traveled trail you can walk down without even thinking. Shadowing is like walking that path over and over again at a good speed. It encourages your brain to build and strengthen the connections for English sounds and rhythm. And with practice, speaking becomes more natural and effortless. Let's break this down into 3 little secrets. that shadowing helps with. Secret 1. It builds physical muscle memory. Speaking is a physical act. It uses dozens of little muscles in your lips, tongue, and jaw. The sounds in English are probably very different from your native language, which means you need to teach these muscles to make new shapes and movements. This is where so many of us get stuck. We know the word in our head, but our mouth just hasn't had enough practice to say it smoothly. Shadowing is like the perfect workout for your mouth. By mimicking a native speaker, you're doing a great exercise for your speaking muscles. You're building muscle memory. It's just like a piano player practicing scales until their fingers fly across the keys. You are practicing the scales of English. You're training your tongue how to make the TH sound, or your lips how to make the W sound. Through this kind of repetition, making English sounds becomes automatic. The words start to flow not because you're thinking hard about them, but because your muscles already know the way. This is so important for sounding natural. Secret number 2, it helps you feel the music of English prosody. Even if you pronounce every single word perfectly, you can still sound a little robotic. Natural speaking isn't just about correct sounds, it's about the music that connects them. In linguistics, this music is called prosody. It's the rhythm, the stress, and the intonation of speech. It's the melody of your voice that gives your words emotion and deeper meaning. For example, think about the difference between "I didn't steal your money" and "I didn't steal your money." The words are the same, but the music, the stress, changes the entire meaning. This is something that native speakers learn naturally, but we, as learners, have to practice. And this is maybe the most powerful secret of shadowing. It is the best exercise for learning English prosody. When you shadow, you're not just saying words, you're copying the entire melody of the sentence. You have to match the speaker's rhythm and stress the same words. You have to copy their intonation, like when their voice goes up for a question. This process trains your brain to hear and make these patterns automatically. Secret number 3. It upgrades your brain's listening and speaking system. The final secret is about how shadowing makes your brain faster. Speaking fluently means your brain is doing many things at once, thinking of an idea, finding the words, putting them in order, and telling your mouth how to say them. For us non-native speakers, this can feel like too much at once, which leads to those pauses and that translating in my head feeling. Shadowing directly trains and strengthens the parts of your brain that do all this work. When you shadow, you're doing something very complex, listening, processing, and speaking all at nearly the same time. This intense activity strengthens the whole system from your ears to your mouth. So what does this mean for you? It means your brain gets faster and better at processing spoken English. It improves your listening because you get better at catching fast, natural speech. And it improves your speaking because you can hold thoughts in your head more easily without pausing. It's like you're upgrading your brain's operating system for English, which makes conversation feel much more spontaneous and fun. Knowing the science is great, but now it's time to put it into action. It's not enough to just do shadowing. You have to do it in the right way. Starts to apparating in my shadowing that this means along all them. Step 1, the foundation, basic shadowing. First, let's get the main technique down. Choose your material wisely. Start with audio or video that is clear, spoken by a native speaker, and is just a little bit challenging. TED Talks, audiobooks, and podcasts are wonderful because they usually have a transcript. And most importantly, pick something you are genuinely interested in. If you're bored, your brain won't be engaged in the learning. 2. Listen first. Before you try to speak, just listen to the clip once or twice. The goal here is just to understand what it's about. Shadowing works best when you connect the sounds to their meaning. 3. Shadow with the transcript. Now play the audio again, but this time read along with the transcript as you speak aloud. Try to match the speaker's voice as closely as you can. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is just to keep going. This step is great for connecting the sounds you hear with the words you see. 4. Shadow without the transcript. This is the next step. Put the transcript away. Just play the audio, listen, and repeat. Now your focus is completely on the sounds, the rhythm, and the melody of the voice. It will feel a little harder, but I promise this is where the deepest learning happens. It forces your brain to really listen to that musical prosody we talked about. Step 2. Fun variations to go further. Once you feel comfortable with the basics, you can try some of these other techniques to make it even more effective. 1. The echoing technique, pause and repeat. Instead of shadowing all at once, listen to one sentence or a short phrase. Pause the audio, and then repeat it back. This is fantastic for beginners or for difficult sentences. It gives you a moment to think and really focus on getting it right. 2. Rhythm shadowing. For this, try to forget the words and just focus on the rhythm. You can tap your hand or your foot to the beat of the speech. Try to hear which words are stressed. They're usually a little louder or higher. You can even try mumbling the sentence, just copying the melody without saying the words perfectly. This is a wonderful way to feel the musical flow of English. 3. Emotional shadowing. Pay attention to the emotion of the speaker. Are they excited? Serious? Joking? Try to copy that same emotional feeling in your voice. 4. Record and compare. I know, listening to your own voice can feel a little strange, but this is one of the most powerful things you can do. Record yourself shadowing. Then, listen to the original speaker, and right after, listen to your recording. You will immediately hear the differences. It's not about judgment, it's about discovery. This is how you can find your exact weak spots and work on them. Remember, the most important thing is consistency. A little bit of focused practice every day is so much better than one long session once a week. Try for just 10 to 15 minutes a day. Think of it as a daily, fun workout for your English brain and mouth. Section 4. Let's practice together. All right, theory is great, but practice is where the real fun begins. Let's do a short guided session together. We're going to use the secrets we've learned. I'm going to say a few sentences, and I want you to be my shadow. First, I'll say the whole thing so you can just listen and get a feel for it. The most important thing to remember is that progress doesn't happen overnight. It's the small, consistent efforts you make every single day that ultimately lead to massive results. So don't get discouraged if you stumble. Every expert was once a beginner. Section 5. Common mistakes and how to fix them. As you start your shadowing journey, you might run into a few challenges. This is completely normal. In fact, knowing about these common bumps in the road is another secret to success. Mistake number 1. Going too fast, too soon. One thing I noticed is that people get excited and try to shadow someone speaking really fast right away. This can feel overwhelming and a little discouraging. The fix. Start slow. It's okay. Use the playback speed feature on YouTube or your podcast app to slow the audio down to 75%. This gives your brain time to catch up and focus on getting it right. Mistake number 2. Not understanding what you're saying. If you're just mimicking sounds without knowing what they mean, you're missing the huge opportunity to connect. You're just being a parrot, not a communicator. The fix. Always listen to the audio first to understand it. Use the transcript to look up any new words. When you understand what you're saying, you connect the physical action of speaking to the real meaning. Mistake number 3. Inconsistent practice. Practicing for 2 hours one day and then doing nothing for a week is not very effective. Your brain needs frequent, daily practice to build those strong connections. The fix. Consistency is more important than intensity. Aim for just 10 to 15 minutes of good, focused practice every single day. Make it a part of your daily routine, like having your morning coffee. Mistake number 4. Being afraid to hear your own voice. Many learners don't like the idea of recording themselves. They might feel a little embarrassed or critical of how they sound. The fix. Please embrace it. I know it can feel weird, but it is the single best way to get honest feedback. Think of it as a helpful tool, not a judgment. It will show you exactly where you can improve the most. Mistake number 5. Forgetting to practice with a purpose. This is the biggest mistake of all. Shadowing on autopilot, just going through the motions without a clear goal. The fix. Before you start, set a small mission for your practice session. Today, maybe you'll focus on the R sound, or maybe you'll focus on the melody of questions. When you give your brain a specific goal, your practice becomes so much more powerful. Remember, it's supposed to feel a little strange at first. Your mouth is learning new things, and your brain is building new paths. Be patient and kind to yourself. Enjoy the process, and know that every little mistake is a step forward on your journey. Conclusion. We've covered so much today. We went way beyond just repeating what you hear. We uncovered the beautiful science of why shadowing works, how it helps your brain create new connections, builds muscle memory in your mouth, and puts the natural music of English into your mind. And I shared my favorite practical steps and techniques to turn this simple exercise into a superpower for your fluency. The shadowing secrets are now yours. You understand that you're not just mimicking, you are actively helping your linguistic brain grow. You're not just practicing words, you're practicing rhythm, melody, and flow. You know that the goal isn't to be perfect on day one, but to enjoy the journey of consistent, happy practice. I really believe this technique is your key to breaking through that frustrating wall, to finally closing the gap between the English in your head and the English that flows easily from your mouth. It's how you stop sounding like someone who is speaking English and start sounding like an English speaker. So now, I want to hear from you. I challenge you to start your shadowing journey today. Find a short audio clip, just 3 to 5 minutes long, of a speaker you really like. Follow the steps we talked about. Do it for just 15 minutes, and then do it again tomorrow. If you enjoyed these deep dive secrets and want more content that helps you learn English in a real and enjoyable way, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below and tell me what your biggest takeaway was from today's video. Are you ready to start your shadowing adventure? I love reading your answers and I will reply to as many as I can. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. In the next episode, we'll travel to a new place with a new story. Until then, keep exploring, keep smiling, and keep learning English with me.